Dear listeners, now you will hear a fascinating story by Agatha Christie, The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. Thank you for choosing this video. Please subscribe to this channel so you won't miss any new captivating stories. Enjoy listening. This story is one of Agatha Christie's most celebrated works and features the brilliant Belgian detective Hercule Poirot. Known for its groundbreaking twist, The Murder of Roger Ackroyd has captivated audiences for decades. It explores themes of trust, deception, and the lengths to which people will go to protect their secrets. The story is set in the picturesque village of King's Abbot, where life seems idyllic on the surface. However, this peaceful community harbors deep secrets and whispered scandals. The narrator, Dr. James Shepherd, introduces us to the key players in this drama. Most notable is Roger Ackroyd, a wealthy and influential man, and his recently deceased lover, Mrs. Ferrars. Rumors about Mrs. Ferrars' mysterious death are rampant. It is suspected that she poisoned her abusive husband and was being blackmailed because of it. On the evening of her death, she confides her secret to Ackroyd through a letter, naming the person who was extorting her. Later that same evening, Roger Ackroyd is found dead in his study. He has been stabbed with a dagger from his own collection. The murder scene is perplexing. The study was locked from the inside, and there are no signs of forced entry. Dr. Shepherd, the first on the scene, notes several strange details. A chair is oddly out of place, a telephone call was made that night claiming Ackroyd was still alive, and muddy footprints are found near the window. To complicate matters, the letter from Mrs. Ferrars has disappeared. Hercule Poirot, the world-renowned detective, has retired to King's Abbot to cultivate vegetable marrows. However, the intrigue of Ackroyd's murder pulls him back into action. Persuaded by Dr. Shepherd's sister, Caroline, Poirot agrees to investigate. Poirot quickly discovers that almost everyone connected to Ackroyd has something to hide. He begins his meticulous inquiry, starting with the household staff and family members. Alf Peyton, Ackroyd's stepson, deeply in debt and the prime suspect due to his sudden disappearance. Flora Ackroyd, Ackroyd's niece, who insists she saw her uncle alive at 9:30 p.m., only to later admit she lied to protect Ralph. Major Blunt, a family friend secretly in love with Flora. Miss Russell, the housekeeper, whose evasive answers suggest she knows more than she's saying. Ursula Bourne, a parlor maid with a secret marriage to Ralph Peyton, which Ackroyd disapproved of. Poirot pieces together the timeline and begins to untangle the web of lies. He finds physical evidence, such as the displaced chair and the missing letter, and psychological clues from his interviews. Poirot is particularly intrigued by the unusual phone call that claimed Ackroyd was alive after he was already dead. As Poirot digs deeper, he realizes that the solution to the mystery lies in understanding human behavior. He observes how fear, greed, and love drive people to lie and protect themselves. In a dramatic gathering of all the suspects, Poirot reveals the truth. One by one, he eliminates each suspect, until only one person remains, Dr. James Shepherd, the narrator of the story. Poirot explains how Dr. Shepherd, in a bid to protect his own secret, killed Ackroyd. Shepherd was the one blackmailing Mrs. Ferrars. When she confessed in her letter to Ackroyd, Shepherd realized his crime would be exposed. That night, he stabbed Ackroyd and manipulated the evidence to frame Ralph Peyton. Poirot reveals that Dr. Shepherd used a dictaphone to create a false timeline of Ackroyd's death. He also planted clues, such as the muddy footprints, to mislead the investigation. Poirot had suspected Shepherd early on due to inconsistencies in his behavior and narrative. Poirot offers Shepherd an opportunity to avoid public disgrace. He suggests that Shepherd write a confession and take his own life. In the final chapter, Dr. Shepherd pens a chilling account of his crime, reflecting on his motives and the inevitability of Poirot's deduction. As the story ends, Poirot's brilliance shines through, but the tragedy of the crime leaves a lasting impact on all involved.